Hey y'all, welcome to, it's that time of Saturday on lovely noon. It is the wonderful, SEX Biz Saturdays, or adult brand Saturdays, however we can name that. That is what we are going to do today. But welcome. We are live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on X, not hashtag, slash, old Twitter, and of course, Instagram. So, your favorite platform, we are here live, or I am here live, here to answer any and all of your questions with regarding to business. So, if you have not submitted your question yet, you can feel free to submit it in the chat, or you can submit your questions anonymously by going to the URL qrco.de/successama. That's SEXCESSAMA. And that will help you get your, get anonymously answered. So I do have a couple of questions. If you were here last week, you know that I had a guest on from the UK. Sophie was talking all about her new program and all the wonderful things that she had going on and her Kickstarter campaign. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, please go and check out last week's talk. And we talked all about business. So we did a deep dive. We took the whole entire hour, talked all about her business, how all the changes. And it was so funny because one of the things she said, which is, why I'm doing what I'm doing, right, is she was talking about marketing and how marketing is so different when it comes to this business, when it comes to adult brands. Now, she's like, I've been in marketing, like, what was it, like 20, 30 years or something like that, and has never realized the giant impact that, social media and in general marketing has on our businesses. So thinking about other ways, that people can really come and support us. So again, please check that talk out when you get a chance. Really, really cool. And if you're like, I don't know what's going on with my social media or my marketing either, I highly suggest you get my free social media cheat sheet. It has all the things, not all the things, but it has 5 solutions that will help you be better on the internet, will make sure that your account stays healthy and that you are doing the things necessary to ensure that, if you want to get your message across, you can. So super, super important to make that happen. And I like the deep dive. So if you really enjoyed Sophie's talk last week, I was loving it. So I would love for anybody to come on and join me. So if you are interested in ever having me take a little bit of a deeper dive into your business, things you can improve on, ways that you can, help with whatever problems you're having, I would love to have you on and talk about your business. So again, that's some free promo and a way for you to understand exactly what I do in my Be Successful official coaching program. So if you haven't had a chance to take a look at the website or apply for the program, you can go to successful.biz. That should take you and has a bunch of the information, but really the application there so that I can connect with you and see if we are a right fit for you and your business, right? I know it's interesting because, I have a business coach, but my business coach does not specialize in sexuality stuff and doesn't realize like the how we be struggling. You know what I mean? And so that is what this is for, is to really help us understand the power of our business, the power of marketing. And on top of that, I went to Exotica last night. So it was really great because I got to see, for performers and everything, um, it's a bit of a little bit of a different kind of vibe than, just strictly educators. But of course, there's seminars. They're like shorter seminars. They're like 45 minutes long. So you can get sort of a shortened version of maybe whatever you're looking for. But the Exotica Expo also, had folks who are like, hey, you need some help with there were a couple of booths that I saw, people who could help with like marketing and things like that. So I think this is highly important. This is the opportunity to go ahead and really do some networking. So if you're like, where do I go for networking? Where do I go? What do I do? Well, Exotica Expo is one of those places. You could definitely try to network. Of course, SDS, please check out, sexdownsouth.com. And that will, that's lots of amazing networking there as well. So please make sure you check that out. Monica says, definitely encourage those interested to join. Marla has been very helpful for me. Oh, thank you so much. And you have been helpful to me too. So yes, kind of goes both ways. He said, we always skip Miami. Oh, I got you pegged. Says we always skip Miami, but we will attend next year. Oh, okay. Well, I'm down here, so it's easier for me to get here. And I'm teaching tonight at 8 p.m. I'll be teaching Pursuing Unicorns, Threesomes, and More. So I'm super excited just to, like last night, it was great because I just kind of got to wander around, check out the vibe of the place, walk through, check out the booths and, see what people are up to. And it was, ladies' night free on Fridays. So my wife and I walked around, hung out, got to see the dungeon, the temple. Of course, we went to Taomi's Cowgirl Workout Seminar, which was amazing, phenomenal teaching, phenomenal instruction, phenomenal advice, just really super, super fantastic. And if you have never taken a class with Taomi, you are definitely missing out. Because she is one of those people that makes it, when we talk about edutainer, period. So good. So good. So anyway, I got to wander around yesterday. And so today I'll be back, of course, teaching my class at 8 p.m. So yes. So I got you pegged. Yes, you're coming to SDS for the first time. Yes, 10th anniversary. We are so excited to have that going on. But again, if you're in this business, it's a great place for networking. It really, really is. And if you do apply to my program and you are accepted into the program, I do have a database of all the conferences, like lots of different networking events that you will have access to because you're in my program. So this is something to really take advantage of, to think about, because I highly suggest you doing a networking event, at least, every quarter or so, just to revive some of that entrepreneur energy, because, you don't want to get burned out and you really just want to ensure that you are on the right path to doing your thing. You know what I mean? All right. Oh, hey, Parrish, how you doing? Official Sexy Spirit TV. So good to see you here. All right, y'all. So let me get to some questions. So I didn't get to some questions last week because, again, we did a deeper dive into Sophie's business, but I did get some questions, and so I really wanted to go over them this week. So the first question I have is, I need to move with courage and just start posting content. But is that okay if I'm not a so-called quote unquote expert, because I am still learning as I go? So yes, oh gosh, this is kind of a hard one. Yes and no. So I definitely encourage you just to start posting content, but you should definitely start posting content for stuff that you do know, right? Stuff that you're still learning. Keep that in the learning pot and maybe save it for later if you're like not necessarily an expert on something. But the things that you do know and you know well and that you're passionate about, those are the things that you need to start posting content on. So this is really this is really about honing in on your niche. So what are you passionate about? What is it that draws you in? What is it that makes you want to do the work that you're doing? So if this person is on today, I would love for you to kind of give me a little bit more as to your business. But of course, I'm just going to say start posting content on the things that you know. So for instance, my stuff is around seduction, communication, skills, right? Some hardcore skills. And so thinking about those things, that is the stuff that I'm going to post content on. If you were to ask me about asexuality, I'm going to be like, not my lane. I do know someone who does talk about that, and I think they're fantastic. So maybe you should, go to them for that, for more advice on that, right? So again, we are not experts in everything. Maybe we know a lot of things or a little about a lot of things, and maybe we specialize in those top 1, 2, 3 things. And those are the things that you need to hone in on, right? So again, just start posting content. Maybe you want to start with something, some facts. Maybe you have some tweets that are really great. Maybe you have some testimonials. Maybe you just put something out there. If you write blogs, if you're a writer, have ChatGPT pull out some content from some of your blogs, right? Just do it. Just post. Now, again, you want to make sure that you grab my social media cheat sheet, my free social media cheat sheet, right? Because you do want to ensure that your posts are not going to be, shadow banned. You don't want to be deleted. You don't want to do all those things because you will, because it will be disadvantageous for you in the long run. So make sure you are posting content that can be posted, that can go outside of your regular audience. So you really want to make sure that your account is healthy. So if you don't have a professional like IG account or Facebook account, please make sure you change it over to maybe a creator account. So that way you can see the stats and you can see in that professional dashboard, you'll see if your account is healthy or not. And if it's not, you can go in and make the changes that will make it healthy. Okay. So those are the things that you need to do. And the AI is constantly running through your content. I mean, running through old content, through new content, running through your bio, running through everything. So it's super, super important that I check it weekly. I usually check it like every Saturday and Sunday when I'm getting ready to start for the fall, for the following week. So I think it's really important that you just make sure you are checking that periodically to ensure that you are doing the best that you can to ensure, again, that your content is being seen outside of the people who are already following you. I don't know if you've noticed lately, but it feels like everything that I've seen on like IG is somebody else and not like people I actually follow. So this is also something to be aware of too. Think about what's going on in the algorithms, what are they trying to feed you? And, maybe for the content that you do want to make sure make sure you're getting those notifications, for the particular, folks that you like. All right. Any questions regarding that? Hi, Stilettos for Survival. Good stuff. Lovely to see you all here. All right. So that was a great question. So we went ahead and answered that question. So again, if you are just joining us, please make sure you submit your questions. You can put them in the chat wherever you are. If you're on X, you probably, I don't know if I'm going to get that, but If you're on Instagram, you can feel free to DM me or put it in the chat or in the comments so I can grab that question. If you are on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, please just feel free to put it in the comments section, and I should hopefully get that and be able to answer those questions for you. So, next question is, must I take certifications and get credentials to work in the field of sex and sexuality? The short answer is no. You don't need them. However, you will be more successful if you do have them, right? So the thing about certifications and credentials, they're not necessarily necessary, but they will help you to excel in your business. Okay. Not only to excel in your business, but also in the knowledge, right? If you go and get a certification, that means you took the time, you did the hours, you learned the knowledge to ensure that you are giving people the right and correct information. And that is important. Now, the reason I say yes and no is because if it depends on what the field is, right? If you want to do, you know, depending on your field, you may or may not need certifications or credentials. So, thinking about what kind of work you want to do, that is going to inform whether certifications or credentials are going to help you excel in your business or not. Now, I think it's also important to say that personal experience is also helpful, but it can't be everything. There have been times when, we have, we've tried to work with individuals or maybe even couples who, have workshops or want to do workshops and want to tell about their life. But just because you have one personal experience is not a good reflection of the macro, the macro outlook, right? Of folks who are maybe, I'll give you an example because I'm just kind of saying things in general. I'll give you an example. So we had somebody who wanted to apply to a polyamorous couple who wanted to do a workshop at SDS. And but in the workshop description, it was like, we're just going to talk about our journey. Womp, womp, womp. Please don't talk about your journey. Your journey is good. Great. Okay. But your journey is one journey. So if you can't relate your journey to actual facts, so if you are like not using the folks who have done research in this category, then you are not doing your due diligence when it comes to educating the masses. And I do not want people's personal experience to be all reflective of the mass or a lot of people's experiences, especially as we see research. That's why research is important. So if you are not bringing in the research to your personal experiences, that can be all bad. Now, you really want to again, think about your niche. And then whoever is also in your niche, think about, hey, what kinds of things what kinds of things did they do? So you can talk to them, see, do I need a certification or not? Some people love certifications. Some people love the credentials. I grew up in academia, so that's where a lot of my credential certifications and stuff comes from. So and so for me, I could just easily translate that into, other certifications. And so again, as a sexologist, as a person, as an educator, as a researcher, certifications and credentials are going to help me excel in my business. But again, depending on what you want to do, how you want to move about it. And also, again, personal experience is great, but it can't be the end all be all. You definitely need the facts. Okay. So great question. Okay. All right. Sexpot therapist. Excellent. You have a great question here. So I'm going to type it in for everybody so that they can see it. So the question is, any tips on any tips for creating and marketing an e-course? All right. So the question is, any tips for creating and marketing an e-course? So thank you so much for the question. I really appreciate that. And yes, of course, I have tips for creating and marketing an e-course. I have, my classes that are up on my website. And I think it really just depends on how you want to go about and do it. Now, there are some platforms that are great for that, because they have, and some platforms that are not. I think those that are specifically adult brand friendly, I think are Gumroad. And if you were grandfathered into Teachable, that was a good one too. I haven't heard much about like Udemy if you wanted to do that kind of way. But what I really, so on I have my website is Wix. And so for Wix, you actually can create an e-course. So that's what I did with my successful business coaching program, right? So once you sign up for the program, you're automatically enrolled into the e-course, and each of the lessons are there, the videos, all the kind of homework and things, the resources are all there in that for you. So your website, if you already have, I'm pretty sure you already have a website. On your website or on the back end of your website, see if there's a way to already create the e-course there. So that way you don't have to go to a Udemy or a Teachable or a Gumroad or whatever other, platforms there are to put up your e-course. And the reason for that is you also don't want to get taken down. So you can put all the work into an e-course, but then it might get taken down, and that would be, kind of a sucky situation, right? So again, you want to make sure you can do this on the back end of your website if you have that capability. So that as far as creating. Now, marketing the e-course, of course, you can do that through Instagram. But like what I told Sophie last week, it's really about nurturing your email list. So what you need to do is you constantly need to talk to your email list. You need to nurture your email list. You can market it. Now, you could do something like paid ads and things like that and see if that pans out for you. The times that I have tried it, it has not gone well. So I really, marketing really is about building up your email list and of course, not being shadow banned on social media. So again, making sure you grab my free social media cheat sheet, and, get all the ways of how not to get shadow banned or deleted or suppressed, all of those different things. So that is how you think about your marketing on social media. But there are other ways to market. And in my program, I describe, all the different types of ways of marketing. Again, that might be nurturing your email list is probably going to be your best bets for us. And of course, collaborations. So doing any kind of collabs are going to help you extend your audience. And that is the point of you marketing. You also, if you have an e-course, get on a podcast. I talked about that this week in my newsletter. It's like, hey, get on a podcast. So once you've created your e-course, get on a podcast, get on as many podcasts as you can, and promote the e-course. So you want to constantly try to do that. And one way to do that is to go through Podmatch. I haven't gone through Podmatch myself. I usually tend to just podcast find me and I find podcasts randomly. But Podmatch is also like a service that you could use if you want to create or if you want to market yourself. So any other ways of marketing yourself or extending your audience, again, networking. I just saw Nikwan at Exotica, last night. and she had her e-course on a QR code at her booth, right? So, having that QR code ready, going to events like SGS, excuse me, having those QR codes ready for people to automatically get instant access to your e-course or whatnot. Those are the ways that you are going to help with marketing. So, but again, it's networking, getting your message out there, going on podcasts, nurturing your audience. All of those different things are our marketing. So, great question. Great question. Hope I answered that for you. So he said, yes, I do on Wix, but was worried if they're NSFW friendly. Haha. Well, it's on your website. So if you are going through Wix payments solution, you might have a problem. If you are going through Stripe and Square or, whatever you have for a payment option, you should be okay. He said, okay, we'll look into Gumroad. Okay. So honestly, have not put much effort into email lists. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Yeah, definitely have been perpetually shadow banned. Aren't we all? I'll look into your resource. Perfect. Have also been avoiding podcasts. Oh, geez. But yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yes. This is so helpful. Thank you, Stilettos for Survival. I'm happy that has been helpful for you. Good stuff. Okay. So this is kind of a general question. I don't think it's necessarily a business question, but it is a question that someone has asked on IG. So someone says, I noticed a lot of women excel as, S workers. So I want to know how men make it as an S worker. Well, I think it's the same way, but I think it's a little bit more niche, right? So it's sort of like, oh gosh, what's that great movie? Something Leo Grande. Y'all know what I'm talking about. What is that movie? Gosh, that movie. Anyway, the Leo Grande movie. And we know that there are male S workers out there. We know they exist. So it's really just about if I don't know if you're trying to like be one or you're just asking. But I think it's just a gendered thing. We know that prostitution is the oldest form of oldest job out there, right? And typically we have seen that with women all around the world in history. So I would definitely say that that is just a kind of a historical gendered thing that lives in our neurobiology. So we have excelled at it more so than men in general because we have been doing it longer and it literally is like in our bodies, in our systems. So if you want to learn more about like neurobiology and how that affects us, in general, like check out Debelina Roy, really great feminist neuroscientist at Emory University. Fantastic thoughts around sort of neurobiology stuff. And so, yeah, when that stuff is ingrained in you, you just become better at it. Period. Yes, good luck to you, Leo Grande. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Leo Grande. Something like that. That's all. Good luck to you, Leo Grande. Whatever it is. I guess I could Google it, but whatever. So I would just say, it's in our blood. It's in our DNA. It's there. So that's why we've had more practice. And the way that, systems and structures have been set up in the past, especially with various social institutions, it makes sense why more women tend to be S workers than men. So, yeah. All right, y'all. These has been some really great questions. All right. So for those of you who are joining, please feel free to put your questions in the chat at any point. Or you can uh, put your questions in the comments. You can put your questions in the anonymously by going to qrco.de/successama, and I will happily answer those questions for you. Now, if you are wanting to do a deeper dive of your business, please let me know. I would love to have you on and do, yeah, let's like go through it. Let's go talk about your business. So please feel free to hit me up. Send me an email at marla@velvetlipsexed.com. That's Marla, Marla, at velvetlipsexed.com. If you would like for me to do a little deeper dive, or you have some deeper questions on about your business that you want answered and you want to come on at noon on Saturdays, that would be fantastic. So okay, so I said this. So you said I'm thinking about it actually because I heard a friend of a friend likes it. Times are hard out here. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. Times are hard out here. We are in a recession, and I think even as we're in a recession, there is still something to be something to be made. We are still existing, living. Some of us are thriving better than others. But if you want to be an S worker and you're like, hey, I'm a dude and I want to move into this industry, I highly suggest you think about like what your niche is, how you can, because some people do it through massage. Maybe some people just do it through like entertainment, or, have a, maybe you want to do like a BFE, a boyfriend experience, right? So any one of those things you can do, but you just really have to think about how you want to go about it, your specialities, and excuse me. And then you just got to form your business and go that way and make sure you legitimize your business. So whether that's you're being called a personal trainer or a consultant or whatever it may be, that you are getting your money back from the government by forming that LLC to legitimize your practice in a sense. I mean, it's legitimate anyway, but I mean, like, get your money back from the government that way. So that way they don't try to come at you for anything, for whatever reason. So yeah. So yes. All right. Let's see if I have any more questions here. Greetings, Mark. Lovely to see you. Glad you are here. Says not business related, but thoughts on FetCon in St. Pete. Thinking about going. So again, when you are going to any kind of networking event, especially if you are a person like, so if you are going into a place where you think your business might be needed, I highly suggest going to these conferences. So FetCon, I have been to FetCon in St. Pete. I was lucky enough to be, I think, Jasmine and King's guest at one point when they were there. I think they were, I don't know, winning awards and things. And I'm not sure if they'll be there this year, but it's similar to Exotica, and that it is like performer based, but it's kinky. So instead of like maybe the camming world, whereas Exotica is more sort of like, pornographers, camming, that kind of thing. You can go to FetCon, which is more sort of kink related. So you might find more like pro doms and folks who do performance-based stuff on kink. So yes. So my thoughts, I thought it was fun, like I love going to fun, kinky events. So I thought it was fun. I had a great time. Um, uh, I think if you're going to stay there, probably stay at the hotel or near the hotel. Because they do have kind of events like happening consistently throughout. They do have classes. So if you are like a person that like, oh, I want to learn or I want to take a class, they do have classes. I actually thought about submitting a class and just kind of stop short because I was like, oh, it's kind of, right around SDS and it's our 10-year anniversary. We have a lot going on. But most likely you might see me there next year. Because I do love a good FetCon. And it's, near me in St. Pete. So, it's a few hours away. So I am, thinking about it possibly for 2025, but not this year, only because of SDS though, because, if you haven't noticed, we have a lot going on for a 10-year anniversary. So, but I just say go, with any kind of con, just go, have the experience, network with people, get the business cards, get the, get people's information and, go from there because you never know who you're going to run into. You never know who you're going to click with, and you never know like what opportunities that can come from going to those conferences. So definitely, I just say go, just try. And if you don't like it, you don't have to go again. You can steer clear and go a separate way for whatever other conference you would like to go to. So yeah. So there is that. All right, y'all. Let me see if I have any more questions that were submitted anonymously. No. All right. I'm just looking at all the things. Sweet. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You are welcome. I am here to help. I'm happy to help. That's why I'm here every Saturday. Let me see. All right. Okay. So this week, I did want to briefly touch upon, I know I've answered a lot of questions, and I know it's the last week of June. And so I really kind of wanted to emphasize sort of speaking and coaching because I was talking to one of my students or one of my, membership people. And we were talking about, how to get, sort of speaking gigs and what that looks like and thinking about coaching and whether people want to do one-on-one or group coaching or, all of those different things. And so, starting off with one-on-one coaching, I think is really, really helpful for people just to get your bearings and just to be like, okay, and think about your own curriculum and how you start to form that. So having that experience, I think, is great. And I think you have to do that before you move into group coaching. And the reason for that is because a lot of people have different needs and you're going to draw in different audiences. So you want to make sure the people that you're drawing in have something consistent. And what I noticed, especially, with my Velvet Lips business, is that the people, whatever, usually the people are suffering because maybe the sex life isn't great. There's something going on. There's something missing. But typically they might be, swingers, and they might be open, or they might be, they just looked at my website and feel like I would be a good match, or maybe they want to work on something somatic, whatever the case may be. You have to think about like, what is it that you can provide? And that is going to draw in the people who need your services. So I just wanted to put that out there, and just, when thinking about coaching, think about, and I have this in the program, think about, okay, your one-on-one group coaching, all those different things. How do you want to hone into? But particularly when it comes to speaking, in my program, I do have a class on, it's called Seducing Your Audience. For those of you who are ex-workers or a part of Spokes Hub, you probably taken the class or have seen it. And when speaking, you really have to connect to your audience. And so if you're not connecting to your audience, it's not going to be very helpful. But the really great way to get those speaking gigs is to go network. So you're going to the conferences, you're talking to people, you're submitting your titles, description, you're submitting your workshops to places to get heard. So I mean, y'all, I have been submitting for a TEDx speaking gig forever. Like, I feel like every year I submit, I still get denied. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they don't like me. I don't know if I need to do something else. Maybe I'll submit again, but you just got to keep doing it, keep at it, be persistent. Especially as you get the experience of submitting to conferences, of submitting to people who are looking for you to speak, those are the places that you're going to get other speaking gigs, because people will say like, oh, you're an amazing speaker. I would love to have you at my thing, right? And so that is the way to really go from speaking gig to speaking gig. So yeah. All right, y'all. But again, you can learn more in my program about how to do those things. And of course, I have the database with all the different conferences. So you will have access to all of that information. And so, why not? I've already done the work for you, period. I've done this work. I've done it for a long time. And so it's about time that, you all have access to it. So please make sure you check it out. If you want to apply, please apply. And I will happily talk to you about the program and see if we are a good fit. All right. Let's see. It doesn't look like I have any more questions. But I just want to say thank you all so much for tuning in today for Biz. So I'm just going to say S Biz Saturdays. I feel like that's the best bet I'm going to get before I, so that, you know the deal. So again, thank you all for joining me for Biz Saturdays. Please don't forget to get your free social media cheat sheet by going to qrco.de/5 solutions. If you have a question or you thought of a question, you can always submit it at qrco.de/successama. That's SEXCESSAMA. And of course, if you're like, oh my gosh, I love this advice, I'm going to keep tuning in, and or you want to apply to my program, please check out successful.biz, or just email me if you want to come on a Saturday and let me know about your business. So y'all are amazing. Keep doing the good work. Keep fighting the good fight. And I will see you all next Saturday. So bye.